尊敬的习近平主席，尊敬的普京总统，各位贵宾，中俄两国合作文件签字仪式现在开始。
Уважаемый президент Владимир Владимирович Путин, уважаемый председатель Си Цзиньпин, уважаемые дамы и господа, начинается церемония подписания документов по итогам переговоров.
首先，请习近平主席和普京总统签署中华人民共和国和俄罗斯联邦关于进一步加强全面战略协作、深化睦邻友好合作的联合声明。
Президент Владимир Владимирович Путин и председатель Си Цзиньпин подписывают совместное заявление Российской Федерации и Китайской Народной Республики о дальнейшем укреплении всеобъемлющего партнерства и стратегического взаимодействия и об углублении отношений добрососедства, дружбы и сотрудничества.
下面，请两国元首见证签署20个文本。
In the presence of heads of states, documents will be signed.
请王文涛部长和列舍特尼科夫部长、殷和俊部长和利哈乔夫总经理入座。
Minister Maxim Reshetnikov and
Minister Maxim Reshetnikov and Minister Vladimir Tao, Director General Alexei Likhachov
签署的是
are signing
贸易科技合作协议。
совместное заявление о поддержке открытой
joint
торговой
statement
многосторонности,
on the support
а также меморандум о научно-техническом сотрудничестве.
of trading and memorandum on scientific cooperation.
请交换。
Просим обменяться папками.
Please exchange the folders.
下面，请王文涛部长和莫尔古洛夫大使、倪虹部长和法伊祖林部长入座。
Чрезвычайный полномочный посол Игорь
Ambassador
Владимирович
Extraordinary and
Minister
Plenipotentiary
Иван Вантау,
Igor Mankulov,
а также
and Minister of Commerce Van
Иван
Vantau,
и министр
and Minister
Нихун
Irek
подписывают.
他
Faizulin
们签署的是
and Minister
可
Hu
持续
are
贸
signing
易城市合作协议。
Меморандум о взаимопонимании и
Memorandum on
развитии
Mutual
устойчивой
Understanding and Development
торговли,
of
Меморандум о взаимопонимании в
Steady
сфере
Trade,
градостроительства.
Memorandum on Mutual Understanding in the sphere of urban development.
请交换。 下面，请罗文局长和沙斯科利斯基局长、孙梅军署长和皮卡廖夫署长入座。
Руководитель Федеральной службы Максим
Head of the Federal Agency,
и руководитель главного
Maxim
управления
Oskolsky,
Ловень, а также руководитель
and Head of
Федеральной службы
Chief
Валерий Иванович
Directorate
Пискарев,
Lowen,
руководитель главного
Valery
управления
Piskarov,
Сунь подписывают.
and Head of Main Directorate Sun Meizun are signing
干部培训协议。
Меморандум о взаимопонимании в области
Memorandum
антимонопольного
on Mutual
сотрудничества, а также
Understanding
меморандум
and
о взаимопонимании о сотрудничестве в области
anti-monopoly cooperation and in talent training.
请交换。
Просим обменяться папками.
Please exchange the folders.
下面，请于少良社长和孔德拉绍夫社长、孙梅军署长和卢特部长入座。
Генеральный директор Андрей Олегович
Director
Кондрашов,
General
а также
Andrei Kondrashov,
генеральный директор Ю
and
Шаолян, а
Director
также
General Lu
министр
Xiaoyang,
Ольга Николаевна Лут и
and
руководитель
Minister
главного
Olga
управления
Lut,
Сунь Мэйджун
and Head of Main
他们签署
Directorate
的是报
Sun
社
Meizun
饲料
are
数码合
signing
作协议。
Соглашение о медиасотрудничестве.
Cooperation on media agreement on media cooperation.
请交换。下面，请富华社长和孔德拉绍夫社长、侯建国院长和利哈乔夫总经理入座。
Director General Andrei Kondrashov and Director General Fu Hua, Director General Alexei Likhachov and President Hu Jinping
他们签署的是
are
空军
signing
社科技合作协议。
memorandum on events devoted to 70th anniversary of partner agreements and memorandum on scientific cooperation.
请交换。
Просим обменяться папками.
Please exchange the folders.
下面，请盛海雄台长和多布罗杰耶夫总裁、谢春涛副院长、副校长和科米萨罗夫院长入座。
Director General Oleg Dobrodev and Director General Shang Kai-su, as well as Rector Alexei Komisarov
他们
and
签署的
Pro-Rector
是
Seo
媒体
Chen-tao
合作
are signing
联合活动合作协议。
Соглашение о медиасотрудничестве и программа
cooperation
совместных
on media agreement and a program of joint events.
请交换。
Просим обменяться папками.
Please exchange the folders.
下面，请盛海雄台长和刘比莫娃部长、申长宇局长和祖波夫局长入座。
Министр Ольга Борисовна Любимова,
Minister
заместитель
Olga
заведующего
Любимова
отделом Шэнь Хайсюн, а также руководитель
and Deputy
службы
Head
Юрий
Shang
Сергеевич
Hai-sun,
Зубов
as well as
и
Yuri
комиссар
Zubov
Шэнь Чаюнь подписывают.
and
他们
Commissary
签署的是电影
are
知识
signing
产权合作协议。
Меморандум о взаимопонимании в области
Memorandum on
кинематографии,
mutual
а также о
understanding in
взаимопонимании по вопросам интеллектуальной собственности.
in filmmaking and memorandum on mutual understanding and on intellectual property.
请交换。
Просим обменяться папками.
德主任和利哈乔夫总经理入座。
Министр Андрей Сергеевич Никитин и
Minister
руководитель
Andrei
Сун
Nikitin,
Суде, а также генеральный директор Алексей Евгеньевич
Head Sun
Лихачев
Sude,
и
as
руководитель
well as
агентства
Director
Шэнь
General
Хайсюн
Alexei
подписывают.
Likhachov
他
are
们签署的
signing
是铁路建设人才合作协议。
Соглашение о совместном строительстве железной дороги,
agreement
а также меморандум о
on
взаимопонимании
joint
и сотрудничестве в
development
области
of
развития кадрового
railway
потенциала.
and memorandum on mutual understanding in talent development.
请交换。
Просим обменяться папками.
Please exchange the folders.
下面，请曲英普社长和巴拉诺娃首席执行官、陈杰书记和克拉帕切夫校长入座。
Генеральный директор Светлана Евгеньевна Баланова и главный
Director
редактор
General Svetlana
Цюин,
Balanova
а также
and
директор Николай Михайлович
Editor-in-Chief
Кропачев и
Цюин,
секретарь
as well as
ЧНЗ
Rector
подписывают.
Nikolai
他们签署
Kropachov
的是
are
新闻
signing
合作、共建工程师学院合作协议。
Соглашение о сотрудничестве в обмене новостями, а также соглашение о совместном создании
joint
инженерного
agreement on exchange of news and agreement on the establishment of Railway Institute.
请交换。
Просим обменяться папками.
Please exchange the folders.
下面，请龚其煌校长和利瓦诺夫校长 邱勇书记和克拉帕切夫校长入座。
Ректор Дмитрий Ливанов,
Rector Dmitry Livanov, and Rector Hun Tzu-Kwan, and Rector Nikolai Kropachev
他们签署的是
are signing
人才培养与科研合作、共建创新研究院合作协议。
agreement on partnership in talent training and scientific research in the Russian-Chinese Innovative Research Institute.
请交换。
Просим обменяться папками.
Please exchange the folders.
“普京总统此次访华期间，两国还将共同发表中华人民共和国和俄罗斯联邦关于倡导世界多极化和新型国际关系的联合声明。
По итогам переговоров президента Владимира Владимировича Путина и председателя Си Цзиньпина
As a result of negotiations between Presidents Putin and Xi Jinping, a joint statement was made about the establishment of a multipolar world
双方
and
还签署
international
了创
relations
新、
of a
能
new
源、
type.
新闻、教育等领域共20项合作文件。
А также подписано 20 документов о сотрудничестве
Also signed were 20 documents on cooperation in trade, energy, science, education, sports,
签字仪式
and
到
mass
此结束。
media.
Церемония подписания документов завершена.
The document signing ceremony is over.
“习近平主席与普京总统共同会见记者活动现在开始。
Сейчас президент Российской Федерации
Now, President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir
Народной
Putin,
Республики Си Цзиньпин выступят с
Chairman of
заявлениями для
People's
прессы.
Republic of China, Xi
首
Jinping,
先
will make a
请习近
statement
平主
for the
席
media.
致辞。
Просим председателя Си Цзиньпина выступить.
Chairman Xi Jinping, please.
尊敬的普京总统，各
President
位记者
Putin,
朋友，
dear representatives of
大
the
家
media,
好！很高兴同普京总
good
统一
afternoon.
道和大家见面。
Very happy, together with President Putin, to be meeting with
这
you
是普
today.
京总统第25次访问中国，
This is the 25th time that
充
President
分
Putin
体
has
现出
visited
中俄关系
China.
的高水平和特
This
殊
in
性。
itself confirms the special
我对
nature
普
of
京
the
总统和
Russian-Chinese
各位
relationship.
俄罗斯同事
I
朋
would
友
like
表
to
示
warmly welcome
热烈欢
President
迎。
Putin and all my Russian colleagues.
刚才我同普京总统
President
举
Putin
行深
and
入
I
友好、富
have
有
just
成
had
果的会
deep,
谈，
friendly, and productive
就一
round
系
of
列重大问题
negotiations.
进行了战略沟通。
strategic dialogue on a broad
我们共同
spectrum
签署两国关
of
于进一
international
步加
matters. We
强
have signed
全面
joint
战
statements
略
between
协
Russia and
作，
China on further opening our friendly ties in the polar world and international relationships of a new kind.
今年是中俄战略协作伙伴关系建立
This
30周
year
年。
marks the 30th anniversary of the
30年来
establishment of Russian
中俄关系
Chinese
栉风沐雨，
relationships.
与时
For
俱
30
进，
years, through rain and shine,
关系定
new
新时代
heights,，
全
and they're
面战
currently
略
at
协
an
作
all-time
伙伴
high
关
of
系的。
only considered an example of a new type of
今年也是
relationships
中俄
between
睦邻友好合
two
作
major
条约
powers.
签署
This year marks the
25
25th anniversary since the day of signing the Treaty of Good-Neighbourliness and Friendly Cooperation between Russia and China,
原则，
of non-confrontation
坚持
to the international relationships of a
成
new.
为世界
type
百年变局的关
This is
键
a
衡
key
量。
constant amid a transformation that has not
各位朋友，
the likes of
在
which
我和
have
普
been
京
seen
总统的
in a century.
共
Dear
同
friends,
战略引
under
领下，
our joint strategic leadership of
中俄关
President
系已经
Putin,
迈上新起
the
点。
Russian-Chinese relationships have taken have gone a new level.
和平
The parties have to follow the trends,
共赢
today
的
trends towards peace, cooperation,
推动中俄关系实现
and joint
更高
benefits.
质量发展，
We must strive for quality development of relationships between Russia and
筑好
China.
更高质量政治互信，
First of all, we should
坚定彼此
foster
战略
mutual
支持。
political trust to
政
be
治互信
strategic
是中俄关系最鲜明的
partners
特征，
for each other.
也是中
Political
俄睦邻
trust
友好
is the
合作
biggest
条约
trait
的
of the
宗旨
Russian-Chinese
和基本
relationships.
原则。
It is set forth
我
in
和
the
普京
Treaty
总已
of
经共同
Good-Neighbourliness
决
and
定
friendly cooperation.
将这一条约继续延期，
President Putin and I have already decided
双
to
方
prolong.
要继往开
it.
来，
It is
在设计彼
important
此核
to
心利益
continue
和
what we
重大
started
关
to
键
open
问
up
题
new
上
horizons and to
进一
keep
步相
supporting
互
each other
坚定支持，
in matters that touch the key
持续
interests
密
and
切
concerns
战
of
略
our
沟通
countries.
和
We must
各层级
maintain a
交往，
tight political dialogue and contacts
不
on
断
different
夯实
levels.
两国政治互信基础，
We must work on strengthening political trust between our two countries.
赋能更高质量互利合作，
Second,
携
we
手推
must
进各
work
自
on
发
high
展振兴。
quality. Cooperation and interaction go in hand on
近
way
年来，
towards
中俄两
development
国
and
各领域合
prosperity.
作阔步前进，
These years we have
取得
admired
许多
the
积
great
极成果。
development and the great
双边贸易
achievements
额已经
of
连续
bilateral
3年突破
cooperation.
2000
The
亿
third
元。
year running, our trade
在
turnover has
当
exceeded
前复杂
$200
外
billion.
部形势下，
And despite
今年前4个月，双边贸易
the
额
difficult
增
international
长近
situation, trade turnover over
15
January
亿
April this year has grown by 20%,
双方要乘
which
势
was
而
not
上
an，easy feat.
深化中国“十五五”
We
规划
should
中
use
俄罗
this
斯
favorable dynamic to
2030
strengthen our
年前发
cooperation
展战略对接，
in bringing together the
发挥好
15-5-year
能源资
program
源，
of development
互联
program of
互通
China
和
with the
合作，
2030
压舱石作用，
development program of Russia,
加紧
boosting
培
ties
育
in energy
数字经济、
sector,
人工智能，
using new growth drivers in
科技创新
digital economy,
合作系统
artificial intelligence,
推
and
动各领域
technological
互利合
innovation.
作提质升级，
We
服务
must
两国各
encourage
自发展振
wide-scale
兴。
international cooperation for the sake of well-being and development
推进
of
更
our
高
two
质量
countries.
民心相
Number
通，
3, we must encourage high-quality communication cooperation among the people of our countries, laying a strong foundation for the
随着中俄
Russian-Chinese
关系
friendship
高水
from
平发展，
generation to generation.
两
Thanks
国
to the
人文
dynamic
交
growth
往
of
不
Russian-Chinese
断密切， 双方教
relationships,
育、
our
文化、
cultural and humanitarian ties
体育
are
交流
developing.
合作，
We're developing cooperation in tourism, education,
中
and
俄友
sports.
好的青年民意之
The
声
Russian-Chinese
更加
friendship
坚实，
finds more and more support
民心
among
纽带
young
越
people,
拉越
and
紧。
our nations are becoming closer and
我和普京
understand
总
each
统
other
决定，
better.
今
President
明两年
Putin
举
and
办
I
两国
have
第
decided
10个国家级主题年
to，hold this year and the next year years of
Zhongguo
Russian-Chinese cooperation in the sphere of education.
稍后我们将共同出席教育年开幕
This
式
will，be the 10th such interstate project
双方要以教育
that
年
we
为
will
契
open
机，
immediately after
持
this
续扩大
meeting.
双向留学规模，
The concept of cooperation
深
used in
化
the
高
sphere
校
of
及
education
科研平台交流合作，
expands our student
在优秀
exchanges,
人才培养、联合
deepens
培养
our
公
ties
关
among
等方面取得更多
universities,
可视
and
化
brings us tangible results in
为中俄
raising
关系不断
talent
发展创造
and
更为
expanding
利的
our research and development efforts to create favorable
第四，
conditions for the development of Russian-Chinese
开展
relations.
更高质量国际协
Number
作，
4, we must develop
改革完善
high-quality
全球治
international
理。
cooperation, reforming and perfecting our global
当今
governance.
世界很不太平，
This world is
单边主义、
far from being
霸
calm.
权主义危害深重，世界面临倒
The
退与
damage
丛林法则的威胁。
imposed by unilateral actions and hegemony is off the
我
scales.
提出构建人类命
It
运
threatens
共
to
同
bring us
体验
back to the law of the
和
jungle.
4大全球
In this sphere, I'd like to propose the concept of the
得
single
到
fate
包括俄罗斯
of
在内的国
humankind
际
and
社
a
会
global initiative
广泛支
that
持。
enjoys wide support from the international community,
作为联合
including
国安理
Russia.
会常任理事国，
Being
中
permanent
俄两国要
members
坚
of the
定
UN
地
Security
负责任
Council,
担
Russia
负
and
使命
China
担当，捍卫联合国权威
will show
和
themselves
和
as
平，
responsible world powers, protecting the
反
authority
对
of
一
UN
切单
and
边
world
霸
justice,
开历史倒车的行
countering
径，
any manifestation of
尤其要反对
unilateralism and
一
any
切否定
attempts at
二战
reversing
胜利成
history,
果，为法
propaganda
西斯和军
aimed
国主义
at
翻
denying
高
the
门
outcome
的
of World War
强
II,
行行径，
trying
共同
to
推动构建更
revive
加
the
公
ghosts
正
of
合理的
Nazism
全
and
球
fascism.
治理体系，
We're ready to work hand in hand on forming a new, more
反意志道，
rational and fair system of world governance. The
中俄
world,
友好的视野顺应历史
prosperity,
大势和时代潮流，
the great
必将
Russian-Chinese
行
friendship
稳致远，一往无前。
is in line with the demands of
不断
time.
去写
We
新
will
的
move forward
精彩的
steadily, confidently,
谢谢
and
大家。
relentlessly, achieving new great heights. Thank you.
谢谢习近平主席。下面请普京总统致辞。
Председатель Си Цзиньпин. Далее
Thank
приглашаем
you,
президента
Chairman Xi
Владимира Путина
Jinping.
выступить с
Now,
обращением.
please, President Putin. Address media. Chairman
Chairman
Xi Jinping, ladies and gentlemen, friends.
friends.
First of all, I would like to thank our dear friend, Chairman of the People's Republic of China, Xi Jinping, and all our Chinese colleagues for the warm hospitality, the warm reception that our delegation has enjoyed. Today's visit is taking place on the anniversary year for the Russian-Chinese relationships. 25 years ago, we signed a major interstate treaty, Treaty of Good-Neighbourliness and Friendly Cooperation, thus laying a firm foundation for an all-encompassing partnership and strategic interaction between our two countries. Now the Russian-Chinese relationships are true at an unprecedented level, and they are developing. They're self-sufficient, they do not depend on the current situation, and they serve as an example of how relationships should be achieved between two major countries. Today's negotiations took place in a traditionally warm, neighborly, and friendly atmosphere. We reviewed all the aspects of our bilateral relationship, and our resulting statement reflects priority areas of our cooperation. We have signed a large number of intergovernmental documents, a total of some 40 of them. Some of them were signed here in this audience. Many of them aim to further our economic cooperation. Russia and China are very important trade partners for each other. In 2025, our trade turnover reached almost $240 billion. And now it includes high value-added commodities. In Russia and China, high-tech enterprises have contributed a lot to this trade turnover, and settlements in national currency have also been important in that. All Russia-Chinese export-import operations are now done in rubles and yuan. Essentially, we have built a stable system of mutual trade that is protected against any external influence and negative trends on the global markets. Let me note that Russia and China have been actively cooperating in the energy sphere. Our country is one of the biggest exporters of oil, natural gas, including liquefied natural gas and coal. And of course, we are willing and ready to ensure uninterrupted supplies of all these fuels to the rapidly growing Chinese market. Our high-tech industry, our high-tech company Rosatom, has been working successfully in China at the Sudiapu nuclear power plant. Russian-designed reactors are being completed in construction, and they will contribute greatly to China's economy, supplying China's businesses and households with cheap and clean energy. There's great potential in renewable energy as well, including joint projects in low-carbon energy generation. We're working on joint recognition of Russian and Chinese environmental certificates. The relevant memorandum was signed during our visit. We're also talking about strengthening partnership in critical elements and metals required for wider introduction of green technologies. In general, Russia and China are energetically developing their industrial cooperation, creating new added value chains, implementing state-of-the-art technologies and innovations. In Moscow and in a number of Russian regions, Chinese car brands are manufactured. There are projects underway in chemical, cellulose, pharmaceuticals, aircraft manufacturing, space exploration, and many other science-intensive areas. Our countries jointly work on developing trans-European transport and logistic routes. The volume and speed of passenger transportation between Russia and China is growing, and capacity of our border checkpoints is growing, and new logistics hubs are being created. Russia modernizes its key railway routes in the eastern direction, such as Trans-Siberian and Baikal-Amur railways. We're working on the Trans-Arctic Transport Corridor, including its main thoroughfare, the Northern Sea route. One of the biggest components of the Russian-Chinese friendship is its humanitarian component. Our people show sincere interest to the He5. Over 2 million tourists from Russia went to China, and over 1 million Chinese tourists visited Russia. After the successful cross years of culture, Russia and China are launching another major humanitarian initiative, such as the Russian-Chinese Year of Education. Together with Chairman Xi Jinping, as has been said, we will take part in the opening ceremony of those years. The program of cross years includes hundreds of most different events, conferences, seminars, concerts, exhibitions, and master classes. Some of them have already taken place, enjoying great interest from students and teachers both in Russia and China. Our countries actively cooperate in sports. The 10th Russian-Chinese Summer Games that start this week in Kaliningrad will become another example of that. It's a great chance for many talented athletes to expose themselves internationally, and further atmosphere of neighborliness and mutual understanding between our countries is boosted in our cooperation among the media of Russia and China. In 2026 marks the 70th anniversary of partnership between Ita-TASS and Xinhua news agency. There's a photo exhibition going on here in Beijing devoted to the history of Russian-Chinese relationships. Chairman Xi Jinping and myself had an exchange of opinions on actual international matters, which resulted in a joint statement confirming the very close positions of our two countries. Most importantly, Russia and China are committed to the sovereign and independent of international policy, working together to stabilize the international situation. We work together in the name of peace and prosperity. In this logic, Moscow and Beijing solidarily act in favor of international legislation and defending the UN Treaty and all its cohesion. We interact intensively in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, BRICS, and other international organizations, making a solid contribution to the resolution of international and regional problems. Russia supports the priority of China's chairmanship in ATES Forum. We are ready and willing to do everything it takes to assist in their realization. And of course, we will continue to coordinate our positions in multilateral formats such as the G20, the W Trade Organization, the World Trade Organization, the IMF, the New Bank of Development, and we will contribute to integration processes in EURASEC and the One Belt, One Road initiative, with the prospect of forming one big Eurasian partnership. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, the program of our visit is very eventful. Chairman Xi Jinping and myself will have to visit many important events. Right now, I would like to thank my friend Xi Jinping and our Chinese colleagues for hospitality and great organization of our visit. I am sure that this visit will further strengthen the Russian-Chinese friendship and contribute to the well-being and prosperity of our nations. Thank you.
Спасибо, президент Владимир Владимирович Путин.
Thank
中
you,
俄两国元首
President
共
Vladimir
建记者
Putin.
活动到此结束，谢谢习近平主席，谢谢普京总统，谢谢大家。
Выступление с заявлениями для прессы закончено. Благодарим президента Путина и председателя Си
The press
Цзиньпина.
statement is over. We thank President Putin and Chairman Xi Jinping.